Hello everyone, welcome to SAM IELTS YouTube channel. How are you all? I believe that you are fine and seriously preparing for the IELTS channel, and that's the reason probably you have landed in this particular channel. Well, this channel is actually dedicated to the IELTS aspirants, the people who really want to settle and work in abroad. Either if you want to work in abroad or you want to go for a study, you need to clear this IELTS exam. IELTS is the International English Language Test System where you need to clear this exam, and this is one of the mandatory documents that you need to submit along with your application. Alright, the other set of people who really want to climb up the career ladder, who want to learn the English professionally, to speak like a native speaker, can actually subscribe to this channel and watch this video till the very end, since you get a lot of phrasal verbs in English like a pro. Alright, without further delay, today I'm going to give you a set of words that you can actually use to improve your vocabulary regarding family. Again, in IELTS speaking, family is one of the important topic that you have to explain to the examiner either in part 1 or part 2 or part 3. Remember, there are a set of topics such as not only family but also related to the photo, related to the roles and responsibilities. There are certain questions which is asked in the IELTS speaking part 1 or part 3 generally. So, you need to learn a lot of phrasal verbs regarding to that. Alright, without further delay, let's get into today's topic. As I mentioned you, today's topic is all about the family. So, as in India, we don't use certain words to explain our family members. So, today I'm going to tell you certain words that we can actually use to explain our family members. First of all, we need to understand what is meant by the immediate family and extended family. Well, immediate family actually represents the mom, dad, brothers and sisters. Clear? Whereas the extended family related to the grandparents, uncle, auntie, niece, nephew and so on. Basically, the relations is called as the extended family and the immediate family is called as the very close nuclear family. Clear? When you want to explain to the examiner, you can actually use this phrasal verbs such as the immediate family as well as the extended family. Clear? Alright. So with this note, I'm going to give you another set of words. There is something which is actually called as the stepfather, stepmother, stepsister. Though we don't have not very frequent stepfather, stepmother, stepsister, if you want to give an example or if you want to narrate a sequence which is not related to you but to some other one, then you can actually use. Stepfather, stepmother means the parents are getting divorced and they get remarried to some other person. That is called as the stepfather, stepmother, stepsister, stepbrother. When you want to relate to someone else or when you want to tell an example which is an imaginary, then of course for sure you can use these words. These words will fetch you a lot of marks in the IELTS speaking. Hence, please take a note of these words and try to practice in your speaking session. Clear? Alright. So, the other set of words that I am going to discuss here today is all about the elder and older. We always represent our elder siblings as older brother. For example, if you have an older brother, then what do you say? We'll always say, he is older. He is older than me. Remember, elder is the word that you can actually use. I have an elder brother. My brother is 4 years older than me. When you want to use the comparative degree, then you can use the word older, else elder. Clear? Elder is something when you represent yourself with your brother. I have an elder brother. I have an elder sister. Perfect. I have a brother who is 4 years older than me. Comparative. Then they can actually use the word older. Clear? Alright. There comes another word which is called as siblings. Siblings means brothers or sisters. So I have 2 siblings. 2 siblings, which means either brother or sister, that's not a matter, but you can actually use the word called as the siblings. Clear? Alright. Then we have another set of words which is called as the niece and the nephew. Niece and the nephew. Who is your sister's daughter or sister's brother? Clear? Sister's daughter or sister's son. Then that is actually called as the niece and the nephew. Clear? You can use this word niece and nephew in order to represent the relationship between you and him or you and her. Okay, so you need to understand the meaning and the words of the relationships in order to explain something to the examiner very clearly. Alright, okay, now I am going to tell you another phrasal verb that you can actually use to explain your relationship to the examiner. For example, the examiner is asking you the question, describe your favorite family photo, something of that sort. Clear? So you can actually use this word, spitting image. Spitting image. I am the spitting image of my father. Spitting image means your appearance exactly look like the someone. For example, I am a spitting image of my father, which means I resemble like my father physically. So this is called as the physical appearance representation. Alright, so if you want to explain yourself, I take the footsteps of my grandfather, which means in the career I take my footsteps of the grandfather. I'm just following my grandfather's footsteps, which means this represents the character. This doesn't represent the physical appearance. So if you want to represent the physical appearance, you can actually use the spitting image, and if you want to represent the character representation or the career representation, you can actually use this word, which is actually called as the took the footsteps. Took the footsteps. Clear? So these words actually enhance your vocabulary and which will yield you more marks in the IELTS speaking exam. Also, when you use these kind of words, you will actually exactly represent the native speaker. Clear? Alright, let's deep dive into some other words which would really help you. Alright, now let's discuss about in-laws family. In-laws family is all about the husband or wife's immediate family members. For example, if you took me, like my husband's brother is called brother-in-law. My husband's sister is called as sister-in-law. My husband's mom is called as mother-in-law. My husband's father is called as father-in-law. In India, we often have to represent these relationships such as mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister-in-law and brother-in-law. This in-laws actually you can use to several answers in this exam. So try to practice this in-laws words and in your speaking exam, which would actually eventually fetch you more marks. Alright, to look after. To look after, which means it depends upon the roles and responsibility. For example, in Indian families, we always associate the family members with the roles and responsibilities. To look after the elderly person, to look after the senior citizens. See here, I use the word which is called as the senior citizens instead of saying the elderly people or elder persons. So this is a lexical resource you can actually use. I look after my grandfather. I look after my mother-in-law, which means I am taking care, I am looking after, that is called as the look after. Clear? These words you can actually represent these words to explain the relationship or explain the roles and responsibilities that you have associated with your family. Clear? Alright, always there is something which is called as the tiff or the rivalry. For example, when you have the family rivalry with your relation, then you can say, actually, I have a rivalry with my mother-in-law. Rivalry means a small family fight. So that you can actually, you are not get along with those people. So if you don't really like your mother-in-law, just for example consider, you can actually say, I don't get along with my mother-in-law. Even this leads to a rivalry in my family. So this is called as the rivalry, family rivalries, which means family fight, get along with, get on well with. So these are the words, if you really understand, if you really have a very good relationship, then you can actually say, I have a very good get on well with my mother-in-law. So if you say in the positive statement, then if you are really feeling a very good relationship between you and the other person. If you speak a negative statement, then you have to say that I don't get along with. I don't get along with, which means you don't like her or you don't like him personally, something of that sort. So please make use of these kind of words to understand, to explain your relationships with the other persons. Clear? Alright. Always there are certain other words which is called as the to grow apart. to grow apart, which means, for example, you can say that my brother and I grow apart in several cities. For example, you were grown up with your mom and your brother were grown up with your grandparents. So you can say that my brother and I were grown apart. Grown apart means grown in different places, grown with different persons. So you can actually use this word to grown apart. Clear? These words you can actually use to represent the relationship. For example, even though my mother and I grown apart, I have a wonderful relationship with my mother. So you are saying that like you use a complex statement even though, and you are using the phrasal verb grown apart, and you are explaining that you have a beautiful relationship. Clear? Yes. These are all the words that you can actually use in the family kind of words. Clear? So, where to use this family phrasal verbs? As I told you, generally if the examiner is asking you describe a favorite photo, there you can use the family. Describe a place that you went to a tourist place. Something of that sort, you can use this family relationship. You can actually even explain more about the characters, more about the relationship. So, I have given a plethora of words regarding this family relationship, how to represent you with the other person. So, try to use all these words, and you can actually add on another word which is called as upbringing. Upbringing. Well, this actually correlates with the roles and responsibilities. Actually, as I told you, the Indian families always associate with the roles and responsibilities of each member in the family. So you can say that in my culture, my upbringing is that I have to give respect to my elders. I have to give respect to my elders. So upbringing, which means your parents taught you or your grandparents taught you, which is actually called as the values, which is imbibed into your value system. Clear? These are all the phrasal verbs that you can actually use to explain your family to your immediate family as well as to the extended family. Please take a piece of pen and paper, note on all these words. Just keep it in your vocabulary journal. Again and again I am saying vocabulary journal is very important aspect while preparing for the IELTS exam. Because vocabulary journal you can actually write a lot of words, and during the exam minute or the last moment you can just look on into those words for your reference, and for sure you are going to clear this IELTS exam. Alright, if you want any help related to the IELTS, please visit www.samielts.in, where we have a lot of expert tutors and they will help you to understand the methods and the techniques that you can use in the IELTS exam. Also, you will have a one-on-one mock test if you book a free demo. Also, you can actually book a free demo at our team WhatsApp number 9043140844. Thank you for watching this video till the very end. If you really like this video, please like, share and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.